Hello everyone, in front of the file out here looking at the Burston Prime Incarnon build. So in this video I'm going to be showing a build for Burston Prime Incarnon with a Riven and then without a Riven. Both builds do work on base Burston and Burston Prime. Without the Incarnon, they just are going to deal a little less damage due to the fact that the Burston Prime Incarnon does have these, little bonuses that make it stronger. I would like to know down below, if you feel free to tell me, do you prefer when I already have a Riven ready, such as this video, or do you prefer when I make a separate video for the Riven where I roll it and show different rolls and show why I do and do not accept certain rolls, or would you rather me just show the Riven complete and already put in a build? So with that being said, let us get into it. So first off, for the evolutions, the first evolution is always the base Incarnon mode. This is what gives you that ult fire that usually makes the weapon better for most. There are a couple of weapons where the ult fire is not the best for the Incarnon mode. For Evolution 2, I got Fortress Salvo, increased damage by plus 42. With armor over 450, you gain plus 2 punch through. This is really helpful and I really like it because a lot of the Warframes I tend to use are very tanky. I use Inaros, Kalervo, Nidus, Nezha, Rhino, all Warframes that have well over the 450 armor. And the few that do not have that armor, I'm not really concerned about losing the punch through bonus, but I do like the plus 42 damage. For Evolution 3, I got Kinetic Battle, minus 50% weapon recoil. The weapon did not have a huge amount of recoil, but out of the three, I recall it having the best bonus, so I went with it, making the weapon a little more accurate. It's always nice. And then last but not least, I did Evolution 4, Fatal Affliction, plus 40% direct damage per status type affecting the target. This is a really good addition considering one of the others was plus 22% crit chance, which is, yes, that would bring the crit chance to 40%, or no, 50. But compared to this, which is just going to add more damage per status when I have 3 or 4 statuses on the weapon, is amazing. So with that being said, something I do want to clarify, just so you know about the Incarnon mode, it has a base of 600 charges. This is not affected by ammo max mods. So if I put in ammo drum, even though it's unranked, it gives 15% extra magazine ammo maximum. It does not affect the 600 on the charge. So that is something to keep in mind when you're building these weapons or when you're also getting bonuses for Incarnons, because some of the Incarnons do have ammo magazine increases, which do not affect your Incarnon mode. Something to keep in mind. That being said, here's the base build without the Riven, and as you can see, I am using Galvanized Chamber plus 80% multi-shot, and on kill plus 30% multi-shot for 20 seconds. Stacks up to 5 times, so that is 150% multi-shot just from getting kills, and then that makes it 230% multi-shot in total, with the base 80. 100 munitions because I am critting a decent bit on this weapon. Malignant Force because I want the Toxin status chance. Prime Cryo rounds to get the viral proc from the Toxin here. Vital, since you always want crit damage up if you're building a hybrid or a crit weapon. Crit Delay because it does give a much better crit chance additive than Point Strike, and the negative 20% fire rate does not hurt your DPS that much. Galvanized Aptitude, amazing status chance mod, plus 80% status chance on kill, plus 40% direct damage per status type affecting target for 20 seconds, stacks up to 2 times. So as you can see, this is what makes Aptitude so good. And this, is why I went with this. It's the same exact bonus, but there's no limit, which means the damage ramps up a lot the more stats as you get on the weapon. And then last but not least, I went with Vigilante Armaments, which gives me 60% multi-shot, and it does give a 5% chance to enhance critical hits from primary weapons. So if I get a yellow crit, which is when I'm under 100% crit chance, there's a 5% chance it will go to an orange crit, which is a bigger damage from 100% to 200% crit. And if I get an orange crit, I have a 5% chance of getting a red crit, which is 200% and above. And I think there's a higher number, but I'm not concerned about that. And then for arcanes on the primary, I use primary Merciless on kill, 30% damage for 4 seconds, stacks up to 12 times, and it gives 30% reload speed. You could use Deadhead, but I do kind of like using Merciless instead. Deadhead is a pretty good option as well, because the damage does increase because of the 30% headshot multiplier. The stacks last a lot longer. It's 24 seconds for 3 stacks compared to the 4 seconds for 12 stacks. Now the damage is the same. Base multiplication wise, they both end up to 360% on the added damage, but you do gain extra weapon recoil, negative weapon recoil on Deadhead, so it is a good option as well. Now with the Riven, I pretty much have the same thing, but this is where I talk about what makes a Riven good in a weapon. You always want your Riven to replace something in your weapon, and maybe not do as well as the mod, but it adds extra bonuses. So if you look here, my multi-shot is going up. I'm gaining punch through, so I do not need to worry about having the 450 armor. My crit multiplier is going up, and my total damage is going up, even though I'm losing puncture, and my viral is less. So if you look at the weapon right here, yeah, look at that multiplier on the Incarnon mode. 11 times, that's crazy. So here's the Riven I have. Plus 147.8% crit damage, plus 124.2% multi-shot, and plus 117.2% cold, and then minus 121% puncture. I know puncture is buffed recently, but personally, puncture and impact are still not good compared to slash. If you can get rid of them, it will definitely be a damage increase, because the other stats procs such as viral, corrosive, and heat are all far better. And that is part of the reason I have vigilante armaments as well on both of these builds. The Incarnon mode gives heat on this weapon, so it's really not needed to get a heat mod in. Whereas with Soma, there's no heat addition, so I did put heat on one of my builds, and same thing with Dual Tossis. Burston Prime does give heat, so I do not feel there's a need to put a Hellfire mod on, so that's why I put the multi-shot instead. If you want to replace it, you can put Prime Shred instead. Fire rate and punch through is always nice. Again, I'm getting punch through from other areas with the Riven or just with the extra armor. The fire rate's good, but I prefer multi-shot or Prime Firestorm if you just want the Incarnon mode to have a bigger blast radius. That being said, let me go show you how each build performs. I'll probably do a side-by-side comparison of each as usual. So here are the two builds. The build on the left is the one with the Riven, and the one on the right is the one without the Riven. So the one on the right does have more stats effects, so it means I think Fatal Affliction, the Incarnon bonus that gives 40% damage per stats, should actually increase the damage on the right one. But at this level, just having heat and slash actually proc more often makes this Riven shred through enemies, also including the fact that my Riven on the video on the left does give me an 11 times multiplier crit damage. So I'm not sure if there is a certain level where having puncture for that added stats effect will actually help more often, but there might be an error. As you can see, I do think puncture adds more crit. So the one on the right does seem to be orange critting a little more, but the one on the left is definitely just shredding through the enemies faster, and I ended up killing them a lot faster. I did, because the enemies move around in a weird pattern, there was one that kind of went behind me and I had to chase him for a little bit to find him, but finally killed all of them and I'm able to finish the video. But this is how my builds pretty much turned out. This is what I use a lot in Steel Path. I absolutely love this build, and I think Burston Prime Incarnon is amazing. I'm going to be really sad when they nerf the disposition, because they are nerfing these soon. Tell me what you think of the video. Tell me down below if you have a different type of build. I'd love to hear it. Tell me also about the Riven thing. Do you like it being in 2 separate videos, or do you enjoy just having the Riven done and it being in the build already? Thank you so much for watching. If you're new, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all later. Bye.